Hi there, my name is FixFox and welcome to something completely different, and I think that this will be good. I'm excited for this. Today we're going to be recreating a map. The fheroes 2 map editor has been out for quite some time, and I recognize that there's a lot of wonderful maps that currently you can't load into the map editor because the original Heroes map editor used like a .mx2 type of file or something like that. Whereas the fheroes 2 map editor is brand new, built from the ground up, and you must have a file specific to this map editor. And so what are we to do? Well, at this time, I think that the only reasonable solution I can find or figure out so that the fheroes 2 community can have some of these old maps is to lovingly restore old maps in the fheroes 2 map editor. Now, it's not going to be a one-to-one. I'm not some ultra precise type of map maker, and yet I think I can do a good enough job, a close enough job, that maybe if there's any mistakes that another map maker can come in and clean it up a little bit. So I'm going to do my very best Bob Ross type of Bob Ross impression today, and we're just going to have some nice happy little trees and some happy little vibes going, and that's my plan. So with that being said, though, this is not going to be the music that we're going to have the entire time. We're going to move on to one new type of bit of music. This is still going to be from the Heroes of Might and Magic 2. It will be the Heroes Orchestra, though. If you haven't seen them on YouTube, go check them out. I will put the link in a comment on this video. So that way you can go and find them yourself. I think that they do a tremendous job. And let's let them be our backdrop, and let's have a nice chill time as we try and make a map. Okay. So, as I'm looking at this, I've got my Heroes of Might and Magic 2 gold on the left, and I've got my Heroes of Might and Magic 2 fheroes 2 on the right. We do need to go in here and do a new map. I know that Broken Alliance is a 72 by 72. And we can actually double check that in here as well if we need to. We can always just go down to the bottom right corner. We can right click on a section here, or you can see on the left hand side in the upper half, 69, 67, bottom right corner will be 72, 72. And so I think that there's no problem in just starting off with this upper left corner. I think that'll probably be the best thing for us. And then let's fill everything in with dirt. I think that dirt is the most prominent landscape here on this map. And so let's do that. And then where we need to add water back or some other landscape, I think we can do that. But this will give us a good start. And the very first thing I notice is that in this upper left quadrant, we're going to have to start with some mountains. So let's grab ourselves some mountains. I want to get everything as close to true to the original as I possibly can. And so that's going to involve looking for the exact right mountains at times wherever we can. I think that, as you can see over here, that there's one little mountain section here, and then there's this kind of bowl section here. I think that this is 1 and 2 sections of mountains here, and I think that the 2 sections that we're looking for are probably this one combined. Yeah, combined with this one. So let's see how high I can put this up. Objects can't be placed outside of the map. I think we're gonna have to place it right there, and that looks pretty correct with the upper left corner. And then right below that, I think it is going to be this kind of bowl shape, and these maps or these mountains are going to overlap each other just a little bit. I think that we're going to leave a little section here, 1 tile space right there, and then it looks like, is that 2 or 1 tiles up? I think that's 2 tile sections up. I think this looks fairly close. I think I'm seeing 1 happy little tree. And it might be this exact tree, just barely hiding behind the edge there. Just to give this map some immediate flavor, let's throw 2 of these treasure chests behind it, and then let's throw these random resources that are just hiding in the shadow of the mountain right below it. And then since we're here, we might as well pick up a couple of these artifacts. Two artifact level 3s. Excellent artifacts if you can get them. And we're going to put that right behind this monster. Level 4 monster. That's a pretty big treasure. Not one that I usually plan on getting. I think it will matter as far as when we put streams down, but I'm hoping that we can put those down afterwards. There are lots of streams in this map, but we will do that as soon as we can. How about that? And then let's place down our very first town, a neutral town, not a castle, just a town. And let's try and get this right. I think that this obviously is a little alcove for that obelisk and the monsters there. Should it be 2 tiles away or 1? I'm guessing it should just be 1. And then let me hope that I can get this placed correctly. Does that look right? I think that does. I think that looks pretty correct. Let me make sure I've got room for those obelisks there. I think I got to go here to miscellaneous and then go down. We're looking for a red obelisk with the yellow kind of weeds around it. Artifact level 2. Oh. What do they call these? They call them minor, major, and treasure. So this will be a major artifact. How about? Guarded by a monster level 3. Some random monster. And then I do see the shadow and the monsters are adding up. I think that we should find this little doodad here, though. We have this nice miscellaneous section here, and I see a crack in the dirt there. I want to find that exact crack. Let's see what we can do. Sometimes there's a lot to be found here. Aha. Now there's a big crater and there's a little crater. This looks closer to the little crater to me. Do I have another option of crater? No, it looks like that's the one. Looks like that's the one. Just so I can be sure, though. Let me just place that down. Ah, that's not quite right, is it? Not quite right. But I think it's got to be in here somewhere. Maybe it is this one. No, definitely not that one. We'll find it eventually. Maybe we need to do a placeholder. I would sure hate to have to give up on making this a one-to-one type of recreation within the first 5 minutes or so. Okay, one more time from the very bottom. Lots of flowers, lots of shrubs. Yeah, I would expect it to be right about here. Maybe it is this one right here. Well, I'll tell you what, that'll probably be close enough for our purposes for now. Not ideal, but hopefully someone else can help me find those later. And then I do see these flowers. I wonder if, knowing that you can kind of overlap these flowers, I wonder if that is just one type of flower or multiple. It looks like it's just one. Yeah, and we can place it just like that. Perfect. Perfect. That does put a smile on my face. So, looks like as far as tree types, we don't want this autumn tree. We don't want the dead trees or the normal forest. I think it is going to be this right here. And I think it's going to be this tree type here. I think so. I think so. And I actually think it's going to go right about here. Is that too much space? That might be a little too much space. One thing that I'd like to see with this map editor at some point is a pipette tool. Something where I can mouse over something that's already been put down and then just put that back into my hand so I can redraw it. Let's try and do just that right there. Does that look close? That looks pretty close to me. This really is a nice orchestra. They are absolutely excellent. That vocalist, I hope that she's proud of herself because I think she should be. It's always very nice to hear someone that's so very excellent and has a gift, and they've trained for a long, long time to be just so good. And to have them share that gift, I think that that's great. Okay. This looks pretty close to me. And I do see, in this instance, we're using that same tree that or that same flower we had talked about here. It's going to be somewhere right about here, kind of to the 14-0? No, closer to the 10-0. Yeah, 10-11, right there, I think, is where it's supposed to go. But this doesn't actually look like it matches up super well. Then again, I've got different randomly spawned in doodads. Every time you throw down a different type of terrain, it's going to come with its own little imperfections. And so the imperfections are going to be pretty much the same from playthrough to playthrough, or from map to map, only if you force it to be. There's going to be some amount of randomness there. I think we're looking for a witch's hut. Not a witch doctor's hut. Let's go for the witch's hut. Not here in power-ups. Okay. I wonder if that's missing, maybe. I would expect it to be right back there. Let me try one more time. Did I walk right by it? Must be in here. There we go. Perfect. It looks like there is one autumnal tree right there, and then a water wheel. A free water wheel right there. Oh. Oh, looks like both of those are incorrect. We're gonna have to do it just like this instead. There we go. That looks better to me. Okay. And then I think that we will wait to put down the stream until later. I don't think that we have to put it down just yet, so we will wait. Okay, so this little square looks pretty much a one-to-one recreation so far. Let's see what else we got here. Random monster, looks like 2 hexes below. Then a campfire. Looks like right about, what do you think, right here? I think so. I think that's right about right. With the treasure chest below it, and then some more of these nice trees. The more mountainous types of trees anyway. Right there. And then I'm guessing its counterpart right next to it. With a little space? No, maybe a little closer actually. There we go, that looks better. Because that'll give us just enough room to put one treasure chest there. And then let's see if I can find the archer's hut. Aha. Oh, archer's house, excuse me. We've already got the random monster 2 on. And then one random resource. And you see this little tree, or this little flower right here, that's what I'm talking about. That's part of the map that's already come on in here. We can't really control that. And so we're going to ignore that, but we are going to pick up one more of those autumnal type of trees. I think that's a nifty little choice. I think it's a good idea to have the occasional autumnal tree. Just in these little sections here, it adds a different flavor and color to the map. I like that. Now, as far as passability goes, I think that you want 2 hexes right here. Oh, this just doesn't look right, does it? I guess that everything is actually shifted over 1, isn't it? I guess that this flower needs to go over 1 more space, huh? Because my 1-to-1 over here is not the same as the 1-to-1 in the DOS box. Everything is shifted over and down 1 box. So let's go back to that flower there. We're going to put it closer, I think, to 11 and 1. Yeah. Does that look right? That looks right to me. Okay. More of these trees, just kind of hugging this flower patch. Like that? No, I think not. It's a little tough to tell where these trees are actually going to land. And I hate to say it, but I don't do nearly so well with the passability as I'd like to. There's a neat little function I'll show you where you can turn on this passability and it'll show you right where things are. You can see there's this nice little gap you can get on through here, but I think it makes it a little hard for me to place some objects down at times. So I'm going to turn that off unless we've got a specific reason for it. Let's try and put this gold mine right there. Does that look correct? I think that does. And then a monster, level 3. Probably right there. And then one more tree range. There'll be this stream flowing directly south from this water wheel. Looks like if that's there, then this is going to be right about there. Yeah, that looks about right. And let's see if I can find that crack now. There's an awful lot of cracks in the dirt. And I don't think that all of them are... Oh, they are! Oh, never mind. I was looking for this exact crack that you find right here on 3014. That's the crack I'm looking for. But that is randomly generated, so I'm not going to be able to find that. Yep. Oh, and in fact, the same goes for right there. Oh, the Heroes Orchestra did that snow theme around Christmas time, and so now they're gracing us with the all-time classic Jingle Bells. Well, who am I to stop them from doing that? Carry on. Okay. And then that's interesting. I'm going to have to look out because I'm trying to do a one-to-one creation and you just can't, and that's okay. I think it is time that we use these streams a little bit here. Here to here. And then it looks like it goes down. 1, 2, 3. And then kind of a T-junction here. Yeah. And I think that if I go right here in a diagonal, well, that doesn't look quite right. I'm trying to get that neat little diagonal here. Maybe it is best off going here. How do I get it to do what I want it to do? Because this is not correct. We will persevere, but not my favorite. Maybe it's more this direction and this direction. I can't click and drag. And I want the stream to go more into that section than I want it to press into me to the west. There we go. That looks much better, actually. I think it's going to be one of those things. It's just going to take some time for me to get better at it, get used to it. like right there. That doesn't look quite right, but we'll start with that for now. I think as the river runs its course, it'll run right like this. Down, 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 past these trees, at least one section. And then that helps us know exactly where to put our observation tower. So, observation tower. Well, the observation tower is the icon for this whole miscellaneous section. So it must be here. There we are. Now, is this correct? That looks pretty correct to me. Okay. And then back to the mountain range. This one looks a little different than any of the ones we've used so far. Maybe it's closest to this section will line up with what we're looking at right here, but then again, maybe not. Maybe it's closer to this. Yeah, something tells me it's closer to this. It's really impressive how the map editor for both of these games, for Heroes 2 Gold and for the F-Heroes 2, it really does a great job with actually building believable mountain ranges. Okay, I think I'm going to use this one. I'm just going to put the mountain range just like that, and I think, let's see, how did they do that? Is it just like that? No, I think that they used a different mountain range for that section. Maybe it's even that same one. I think I see some of those similar features. Probably actually this big boxy one? No, here it is. Very interesting. Okay. And that does look correct. One big section, and then one more will go down here in short order. In fact, I'm guessing we can even figure out exactly which one it is just by looking here. Probably this one? Yeah, it looks like this one. Go right to the south of it. Oh, not there. How about right there? Two right on top of each other? Yeah, it looks like it. And then there'll be room for the windmill just over yonder. Interesting. Okay. In fact, before I forget about it, let's put that windmill down right now. Oh, and I forget. I think that the windmills are actually over here in the miscellaneous section. These miscellaneous sections do get pretty big. But right like that, I'd say. Okay. Let me just move this over a little bit more so we can see if there's anything else here. We got some trees that we need to put in here, and I'm guessing that this was actually just single trees that they put in. If I had to guess, I would say that it's probably these ones. Yeah, I think it's right here. Just right here? No, not right there. Right up against the mountain. Just kind of shielding it from view. And now I think that it's actually the other one that they used right after that. I think that that's about right. Yeah. It's a little tough for me to see. There's a lot of little details there that make this tough for somebody who's struggling with it, but I think you've got to do some individual trees here. And I see a little bit of that blue shining through. And that makes me think that you're gonna have to mix the trees a little bit. Just a little bit, mind you. And then they're probably gonna go at least this far. Oh, but their trees look much better than mine. Maybe that's just because they weren't trying to recreate something. Maybe that's just because they were trying to do the best they could with what they had, and they didn't have to match anything. They just had to make it look the way they wanted it. Of course, our task is a little bit different, and that's okay. Oh, no, these are dwellings. We don't need dwellings. We need power-ups. Looks like that's this well with the type of tree there, or with the grass around the base of it. And then we get one of these little guys, the magic garden. I think that someone has indicated that the little leprechaun is absent here in the map editor. He shows up later. He'll show up in game just like normal, but here he's strikingly absent. I think that the rest of this is actually filled out by one of these Tetris-shaped trees. Probably this one. Maybe even just like that. And then maybe one more. Oh. Maybe. And then actually maybe even just one of these other trees. Slides right in here somewhere. Tough to say. Tough to say. But I don't think we're too far off. Okay. Well, nice to know then at least we've been able to build this stream off a little bit more. And it'll go in this general direction anyway. So, have we recreated this little corner of the map? I think that we've got one more set of trees there, but I'm going to have to move this down to see what exactly that is. It looks like one S shape in the trees. Well, we can put that down. And then to this section here, I think we're going to go west to east instead of north to south. I'd like to see where this river flows to the east, but just for the sake of being thorough for this square here, I'm going to put down that one tree there. Just like this. And that does look correct to me. Yep, that looks correct to me. Okay. We'll fill out more of the mountain later. But then let's go with 13 in mind. I'm just lining up this little ruler they have for us. And this will be fun. We're going to get to struggle mightily to place grass and snow on top of this dirt. And I think it will be quite the struggle, actually. I really do. This is not something I'm looking forward to. But we will do our very best. We do need to fill out these mountains a little bit more behind this gold mine, though. And what will it be? I think it's this one right here. Just like that? Well, I don't want it to obscure our gold mine. I think that the placement is off by 1. Oh, instead of being right here, I think it's got to be right here. Does that look right? No, I don't think that does look right. I think that that's the wrong mountain range. Let's try again. This mountain range, that's what it is. That's obviously incorrect. I think you have to be very unafraid. Number 1, to fail, but number 2, to place objects right on top of each other. It'll let you know if you can't. Oh, you know, that looks too big. I want that little shape right there, that little kind of low shape. That's what made me think it was that at first. But now I'm not so sure. It's got sort of a crucible in the very center. Well, it's this one. It is this one for sure. I just wonder if I'm going to need to place it first and then the gold mine after. We're going to need to place it down one more. Tell you what, let's get rid of the gold mine for now. Let's build in that mountain behind it first, because it should meet the tree line, but not overwhelm it. I don't know actually if it matters as far as order of operation goes. I don't know if you have to have certain things in order to make them work. I don't know if you have to have a mountain and then a gold mine, or a gold mine and then a mountain, or just what. But it's possible that there's a correct way of placing things one by one. That is the right mountain range, but it's not wanting to let me place this gold mine right there. Perhaps this is just an example of some changes between the map editors. Maybe we're going to have to admit that this is going to have to be just a little bit different for now. And then rather than be a perfectionist, we will leave this open for maybe someone else to come through and be a little wiser than I am. Help us figure this out a little bit better. I think that the ruins are going to go right there, and then kitty corner is going to go this tree house. Oh. Wow. This is an exciting orchestra. They are pretty exciting, I think. I am honored. One of the short videos I did here on YouTube, I was talking about the music for Heroes of Might and Magic, and I specifically mentioned Paul Romero. Of course, he's worked on, I think, every single Heroes of Might and Magic that there is. I know for sure he was involved with 1 through 5. I know that he made a new soundtrack specifically to help out the Horn of the Abyss project. Really impressive stuff, and gifted. He's the type of individual that's been playing since he was a child. And I mean, he trained in France, in England, and he is an amazing classical composer. And it makes you think for a second, now wait a second, what are you doing here, buddy? Like, this is just a video game. And the long and the short of it is I don't think that us Heroes of Might and Magic players really deserve him and the work that he's done. Truly, I don't. But I will take whatever I can get, because the music of Heroes of Might and Magic is really some of the absolute best that anyone could have ever hoped for. And as I was mentioning, there was a short video I did, and he took the time to comment on it and say thank you to the crowds, and I kind of geeked out more than just a little bit. I geeked out a lot. As far as I'm aware, his comment is still up there. Go check it out. But that was pretty exciting to me that he took the time to say hello. And I hope that he knows that he is appreciated. I'm guessing he does, but it's always nice to hear it all the same. This doesn't look like an exact 1-to-1 there, but it looks close enough for now. This grass. I think we're definitely going to want to try and get that a little bit closer. That looks pretty close. This really might be a time where brush strokes matter to make this all work flawlessly. There's a dead tree right in the center of there. I think that that's actually one of these dead trees. I'm looking at this section right there. That looks like something that we can pick up here if we can find it. It's not here. Maybe it is part of the natural landscape and not something you could just plop down yourself. In the meantime, let's just kind of put a placeholder there. Oh, then again, it looks like maybe it's doing it on its own. Huh. Oh well. Let's go then and try and do some of these mountains here. I'm not too sure how these snow-capped mountains will cooperate with us, but I'm hoping that they do us a favor. Does that look correct? 1, 2, 3, and then I think you could fit one more, maybe your first snowy tree. Right here, right here. Yeah, that looks correct. And immediately followed up by 2 treasure chests. And then a treasure artifact. Once again, guarded by a 4th tier monster. You know, I really appreciate musicians. I really do. I've mentioned on previous videos, I've said something to the effect of that, well, I consider myself something of a failed musician. And quite frankly, you have to do a lot more work than I did if you're going to be a failed musician. That's propping myself up to be much better than I actually ever was. But I love music, and I think that it's nice to recognize people and say, more than just, wow, you're amazing and gifted and talented, to recognize them for all the hard work that they've put in. Here's this mountain range right there. Right there? Perfect. Flawless. Because as talented as these musicians may be, I know for sure that there is so much hard work and training that's also gone into their musical skills. I hope that they get the recognition that suits them. I see this little, I think that looks fairly correct. We'll build some trees closer to that little section there. Some more of these dead trees up here, perhaps. Ah, we found our dead tree, by the way. In case you can't tell, that tree, the one-to-one, it's actually part of a bigger tree set, which is interesting. And then this helps me understand that there's, looks like this other type of tree right behind it. I think that that's the one. I just, maybe not here, maybe right here. Yes, yes. And then an individual tree, just to cap it all off. Something like that. That's not quite it. That's pretty close. That's pretty close. Okay. And so then just in the shadow of the mountain there will be the one centaur cave. I do like that there is at least one dwelling for each type of creature on these maps. For the first tier creature, there's the peasant hovel, there's the goblin hut, and there's so much more. I think that that's Really, really pretty nice. Let's take a quick peek here. It looks like this is this snowy terrain from just under the Centaur Cave, basically all the way out. I think we're just going to make this a little bit extra. We're going to make things easy on ourselves. Oh, I'm trying to get this line back up. I don't remember this one. Let's see what's happening. This is the Legendary Heroes 3 main theme. Huh. Legendary Heroes 3 main theme? Does this sound familiar to anyone? This sounds completely new to me. But those musicians are rocking out. You know what? I should... Hold on. Hold on. It's probably a little bit late to do this, but I can do something here real quick. Does that sound to anybody like the Batman deal? Does anybody remember that? He goes na 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 na. I don't think I'm being rude when I say that. I think that's kind of what it sounds like. Here, I'm gonna move this up. Huh. Interesting. Yeah, they're having a good time. I like that. What's that say? We reimagined cable, it's free. Oh gosh, I can't get rid of that. Okay, you're just gonna have to deal with one ad being there, but at least you can see what's going on. Okay. And so, as we continue on, let's do it like this. I think just like this all the way to the edge. Makes it look like there's a lot of snow there. And really there is, but interesting to realize that there's just so much. What the hell is this? I mean, I'm enjoying myself, but what in the hell am I listening to? Let's do it like that. Okay. Because I'm hearing a little bit of Eminem in there. I'm hearing lots of influences here. In fact, we're gonna listen to this one again. We're gonna listen to all these at least one more time. I don't know how long I'm gonna make this video. We're about 45 minutes in. Probably only gonna make this about another. We'll see. Maybe one more playthrough on the map. It depends. It's about 2:41 in the morning right now for me, so I should probably be anywhere but here. Probably. Okay, here's my obelisk. I think it just goes right there. That looks right to me. And we'll worry about a lot of this other little bit of terrain later. Probably about right. And then let's build out the rest of this mountain range here before we get too much further. I'm probably going to get copyright striked on this, aren't I? I don't really care. This is just for fun. Hopefully they decide that they can give me just one warning. Or strike me down dead where I stand, either way. Dun, dun, dun. That looks right. I like this new interface a lot, by the way. I've mentioned in other times and other places that I'm very much a novice map maker. And the fact that I can do this and just pick this up and go, that bodes very, very well for anybody who is not new or somebody that does have a little bit of experience. So you can have plenty of fun. I gotta get the sulfur mine in there, but it's gonna be a little bit of a tight squeeze. Here? No. I want it right there. I think it's supposed to go right there, but it's gonna have to fit right there for now, because I don't think I can put it right on top. Yeah, I'm trying, and it needs to be one over. Maybe if I move it down one, maybe that'll be more correct. So instead of being right here, it's here. That's even worse. That is definitely worse. Well, I don't trust myself to try and put down the sulfur mine and then have it be correct later. That's gonna have to work, even though it should be over one tile. Huh, that's unfortunate. Okay. Well, there's that. But let's continue to build this out. I really have to remind myself not to be a perfectionist, because it doesn't do anyone any good. If you never finish a project, who cares about how many projects you start? And part of that means you just gotta get in there and get it done. Get your hands dirty, as it were. That looks correct. And then there's some nice water features in here. Maybe I missed them already. Aha! That looks like the one. Right below. Beautiful. But you see there's one extra tile of difference from this sulfur mine to this lake. The monster is not going to be so cramped as he otherwise should be. But we've already tried it several times. I'll try it one more time, but I think we're just going to have to give this up. Because it should go... Well, it should go over one, but it won't let me. Okay. I'm sure that there's people who are saying, Fix Fox, just let it go, man. No. No, I will not let it go. I will spend the rest of my time here hunting this down. But add that to the list of potential changes that we can make later. Okay. This is the first time I think I've looked for a Freeman's Foundry. I don't know what I would consider it. Is this a one-up type of building? No. Oh, it's up where the hill forts are, I'm sure. Aha! There we are. And we're going to put it true to this lake. Even if it's not true to this sulfur mine, we'll build the trees around this a little bit differently. And try and make this as correct as we can. And this is actually one of the first times we're going to get to do these big chunks of autumnal leaves. I'm guessing Yes, it looks like definitely right here. And then actually, I think it's one more down. If I'm reading the tea leaves correctly, then we just should fill this in a little bit more. It's going to be a little bit smaller, so that way we have room to place the magic garden. I see another time where I would like to have something of a pipette tool. You know, you place one magic garden down and you just go and find that one magic garden you've already placed and put it down. We're going to put it right there. That'll be fairly close, fairly true. And then this tree should be south of the monsters, but also diagonal to this Freeman's Foundry. Oh well, we'll get it right later. And that actually means that we can continue this stream a little bit now that we know where we're going. And I think I figured it out. You just have to go 1 over, 1 down, 1 over, 1 down, and that'll eventually get you where you're going. And we have this nice little downward turn where I think that you can see it's following south. And so we'll need to fill out a little bit more of the mountain range next to this windmill. Let's do it like that. Paul Romero Quintet, Heroes of Might and Magic 2C, Jam Session, and Mexican Goodbye. Beautiful work. Beautiful work. And not if, but when I get copyright striked, just know that I'm hoping that everyone goes and subscribes to this channel and spend some beautiful time with these talented musicians. Let's fill this in a little bit more. I think it's actually supposed to go right about here, but it'll look a little bit wrong just because the grass will more or less go where it should be, not where it actually is. Is this Paul? Yeah, this is Paul Romero talking right now. Yeah. Tremendous. Where's this music coming from now? Did YouTube go to something else actually? Huh. Beautiful. Oh no, have I been playing 2 sounds at once and I didn't even realize it? Yeah, I think I had 2. I think I've had 2 sounds on this whole time instead of just one.
My family is Mexican. I'm from Los Angeles, and whenever Mexicans have parties,
And so there was probably a lot of overlapping music for the last like half an hour.
yeah, I'm gonna leave. It's 10 o'clock. Gotta say goodbye. And like an hour and a half later, you're a little bit closer to the door, and you're still saying goodbye to everybody. It takes about 2 hours to have a Mexican goodbye. That was a Mexican goodbye.
Nice guy. I don't know him, but I assume he's a nice guy. Okay. That's enough of that. I don't need ads. I already don't need more ads in my life than we already have. Well, folks, tell you what, I think that this is actually a pretty good place to stop, especially since I'm not sure what the sound quality is because I messed that up, but we'll go back and we'll figure that out in a little bit. But before we do anything else, I do just want to pull this up and make this the big picture here. So that way you can see where we're where we're at so far. And I think that we're doing a pretty accurate one-to-one type of change here. Really bugging me about the sulfur mine. It's really bugging me, but I think that we're going to get there when we get there. And you can't rush perfection. We don't really need perfection, but you can't rush it anyway. So thanks for spending the time with me. My hope is that I'll just continue to work on this map piece by piece, bit by bit, and just try and make it something that you can use in the fheroes 2 map editor. And I will, once this is completed, I'll post this over in the fheroes 2 Discord, over in the map section, so that other people can, again, load this up and they can make adjustments or changes where they think is best. But otherwise, I think that tonight's it's time to stop. It's about 3 a.m. But I appreciate you. I appreciate your vibes. I appreciate who you are. And tell you what, I'm glad to be me. I'm really glad to be me. I got a great family. I am healthy. We are well. The future is bright in a lot of ways. Future's bright in a lot of ways. And you know what? Life hasn't turned out quite the way I thought it would, but I think I'm enjoying life. I really do. And I hope that you're enjoying life. And if you're not, I hope that you're able to take the time to stop and ask yourself, what should be different? What could be different? What do you want? What do you need? That's my hope. Folks, my name is Fix Fox. I'll see you in the next one. Take good care.